Niners fans, it's about that time. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. And it's a pleasure to be on with, y'all know it, the best fans in the NFL, the faithful, the Niner Empire. I appreciate everyone rocking with myself, and I have a special guest on. You guys already know who it is. It's 49ers First Take. I will bring him on very shortly. But shout out to everyone watching on Jay in the Bay Facebook, Jay in the Bay YouTube channel. I appreciate all the support. Obviously, we've lost 3 straight games. It seems like the sky is falling, but we do have a bye week coming up. I think we should get some players back, and the season is not lost yet. It's only 5 games. We still got 12 to go. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in the comments section. Make sure you guys, ask questions if you have any, and of course, talk with each other like you guys normally do. And let's bring on our special guest for the night. You guys should know who this cat is. 49ers First Take. If you don't, you haven't been watching YouTube. Excellent content creator. I've seen him and his channel grow exponentially the last few months. Got monetized. I monetized as well, so I followed in his footsteps. And let's bring on Aaron, aka 49ers First Take. What's good?
What's going on, Jay?
It's going all good, man. It's going good, man. I'm glad to have you on. It's been a while since you've been on my show. I think the last time it was probably a few months ago. It was before the season started, for sure, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit before the season started. I told you, I was like, I want to do some collab stuff, and you're like, well, maybe in a bit.
Yeah.
Because we're both trying to establish our channels. I get that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Our channel content comes first, and collab comes after. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And timing is everything, and with work, and I can only stream on certain days and things like that. But I'm glad that it seems like Mondays work for us. So I think we will definitely be collabing again in the future. But for those that don't know, tell people about your channel, who you are, why you started your YouTube channel.
Well, I'd wanted to make a YouTube channel for a long time, or some sort of podcast. It was originally going to be with me and my nephew, but he could never commit to it. So I decided to make it a solo thing. For the longest time, it was a lot of like faceless videos with just a little wave stream going across the bottom of the channel with my voice in the background. But I felt like I needed to kind of change the game. I started seeing other people be on camera. So I did a little collab during the springtime with the pre-draft, post-draft, and preseason. And now I'm really comfortable on stream. And my channel is 49ers First Takes. I play the straight man. I've been really I haven't been as hard. I've been more hard on the Niners recently than I've been in a long time. I was pretty optimistic for a very long time, but this season has me feeling some type of way about a lot of things. It ain't just, the Jimmy thing. There's everybody, the blame's definitely going around. So my channel's kind of changed up a little bit. But 49ers First Takes. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitter. And it's pretty much all 49ers on Instagram. I do post stuff on my personal life too. But Twitter's strictly 49ers stuff. And I'm coming up on 2K subscribers. Please, if you can, check me out. If you like what you hear and see, drop a like, subscribe. Don't forget to do it with Jay as well, because Jay's the man, and I want to see him. I want to see all of us grow. I feel like there's enough of the cake to go around. So I'm just glad I'm back on here where I'm not hosting, so I can kind of just talk,
Absolutely, man. And it's great to have you on 49ers First Take. And for those that haven't subscribed to him on YouTube, or if you're not following him on IG and Twitter, I don't know what you're waiting for, but the links to his social media are in the description of this video. Make sure you guys check him out. He tells it like it is, I wouldn't say that I sugarcoat things, but I would say I'll try to be more optimistic. And I feel like our style are complete opposites. And that's great for a show, right? I think that's very good for a
That's
show.
what makes everything great. And the fact that we can still be okay with each other.
Right. Exactly.
Everybody, you can have a different opinion and still get along with people. It's the people that can't do that I don't understand. But, I'm not friends with people like that no more.
No, I feel you. Now, let's say I love to have interaction from the people in the comments with the show. Without the people in the comments, I don't feel like I have much of a show. It feels like I'm talking to myself. But let's say what's good to all the people in them comments. NYCE 1030. What's good? He says, "What's up, Jay? Hope all is well." Yeah, I mean, yeah, things could be better with the 49ers, but the season is still early. At least I think so. I still think we have room to improve, and we'll definitely get into that during the show. John, what's good? Appreciate you coming through to the stream, John. Hopefully you're having a great Monday. Roberto, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Appreciate your support. And I wasn't expecting this news today, but unfortunately, this has been a recurring theme with the 49ers and injuries. So Trey Lance, for those that don't know, Trey Lance is injured. He has a knee sprain. I didn't see when he got injured in the game, but Shanahan
I think
said,
I caught it.
You caught it?
Yes. I not exactly remember. I remember him jumping up and hobbling for like a half a second. I can't remember when I saw, and then I just dismissed it.
Yeah,
I don't know if he was after us. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would have to look back at the game. Yeah, I didn't remember. I didn't see anything. But because it didn't seem like he was hobbling, in the game.
Yeah,
so
I didn't see it
he
either.
hit it well. I guess the adrenaline was flowing, and I guess he hit it well. So
it's like me when I'm at work. My shoulder hurts when I get home. I'm like, oh my God.
But yeah, man, what are your thoughts on Trey Lance getting hurt? What are your thoughts?
I'm not even surprised at this point, man. Jay, I'm just not. Nothing. My grandmother always used to say to me, and she wasn't trying to be negative. She was just being real. When you think it can't get any worse, guess what? It can. So, and I wasn't trying to think like that, but I understand that he's a mobile guy, and I understand that he likes to run. But I was kind of critical of some of the ways that Kyle uses him. I called it sabotage mode yesterday because I was in a bad mood because I had to go to bed right after the game and be up at like 3 a.m. So I called it sabotage mode. I just feel like I like when he scrambles. I like when he uses his legs, when it's organic. But called runs, especially toward the goal line, that one was just brutal. He took a massive hit. And it just, with the way that this team, they had Elijah Mitchell came back. He had Trey Sermon. They got 11 I think it was a total of 11 or 12 carries between the two of them, and he had like 16 or something.
Yeah.
Why? That's what you have running backs for. Debo. I posted something from Brian Baldinger. Make sure you check it out, where he said, like, the Niners didn't figure out what to do until like 44 minutes into the game. Like that end around of Debo. How beautiful was that? Like, where was that? Like, I feel like Kyle just overcomplicates everything, man. Like, it's like he overthinks. I don't get it anymore. Like, I'm confused. And I felt like the kid paid the price for it yesterday. I just feel like it was avoidable. But at the same time, like you always say, it is football. It is only a knee sprain. Hopefully he's back after the bye week. I'm not too upset, but then again, we always say that, and then next, now he's going to be an IR for 3 weeks. Like with this training staff, it's always, we get the initial report and we're like, oh, it's cool. Yeah, we got a couple weeks. And then we get another report saying, yeah, we decided we're going to put him on IR for a while. So as of now, I'm okay with it. I understand it's football, but I just think that we could have used our running backs and receivers and other players who can run instead of using our quarterback at the goal line. I understand doing a quarterback sneak over the top, like with Jimmy and stuff, that I get. But what happened yesterday, it was such a drawn-out play, and he got smashed at the end. So, I don't know, man. I'm indifferent right now. I'm in a weird mindset. I don't know how to feel at this point.
I would agree. It's a weird feeling right now. And speaking of the training staff, George Kittle, he was doubtful the whole week, didn't practice, and all of a sudden the next day, Saturday, he's on IR. He's out for the next 3 weeks. Like, where did this come from? But that's a perfect example of the injury situation with the 49ers. I would agree. I don't like those Trey Lance runs up the middle, especially when they're just he takes the snap usually from shotgun and he just runs up the middle. I don't like that. I don't think Trey Lance is Earl Campbell. I think Trey Lance is better running to the outside. I'd much rather him go up against corners than 300-plus pound defensive linemen. So I definitely don't like those play calls. And then the juice check, run up the middle where he took the snap. That's not his strength. He's good catching balls out the backfield and blocking, but the juice running the ball, that hasn't worked. It didn't work the last time. Nope. And Shanahan wanted to do it again for whatever. I guess he thought he could sneak it by the Cardinals. I guess that's what it is. But yeah, Lance. When Lance, when I saw the headline today, I was shocked. Because I didn't see him get hurt yesterday, so definitely surprised. But this has kind of been the 49ers season. I mean, injury after injury. It's almost unfortunate.
In the past 3 seasons.
Yeah,
really think about it. The Super Bowl season, we were hurt too a lot.
Yeah.
And then last year was a complete train wreck.
And if you look across the entire NFL, players are getting hurt every week. So it's not like it's only the Niners are getting hurt, but obviously we've seen this the past 3 years. And I think you mentioned it. I was watching one of your shows, it might have been a week or 2 ago, and a user or subscriber to you mentioned that the Niners are getting hurt more often than all the other teams. That's definitely disheartening, and I think there's definitely going to have to be changes made, in the offseason for sure.
30 players went on IR last year, 30, and over 20 the previous 2 seasons. So it's not it stops being it's just football, and that's what happens, because I get a lot of people in my comment sections always saying, "Yo, you're such a drama queen. It's just football." I'm like, bro, 30 players, 30. You can't field the team if they're hurt. You can't compete. Everyone's like, next man up. That works until you run out of good players, because then you're putting street free agents everywhere. And there's a reason why George Kittle is George Kittle. There's a reason why Fred Warner is Fred Warner. There's a reason why Nick Bosa and Dee Ford are who they are. Yeah. You can't just say next man up when you get a guy that has 2 career sacks over 6 seasons, and he's just going to fill the void like nothing. It comes to a point where that mindset is ridiculous. I understand it here and there, certain players, guys miss, but when it's like all your best players and they're all hurt and you have a bunch of nobody, no offense to them, they're more talented than I could ever be in pro sports, but you're not going to win.
Right.
All the best teams who make it in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, bro, they all have their best players playing.
Yeah.
So it's not an accident. I'm not mad at you. I'm animated tonight.
No. Bring it. I love it. I love your passion. I love you keep it real. You say what's on your mind, and I can definitely understand that point of view. Of course, I always say, hey, next man up, because that's what the players have to do, right? They can't just say, oh, season's over. Pack your bags. It's time to go on vacation. They still have to continue to play. But let's continue with these comments. I gotta say, what's good, Damian Lee? We were talking about this before the show. Yeah. Good riddance, Gruden. Good riddance.
Sayonara. Sure. Go take your old mindset to the unemployment line. It's not like he's gonna go poor or anything.
Right.
All that money.
He made plenty of money. Yeah. But yeah, even after the first comments that came out, I don't see how the Raiders players can look at him the same. Why do you have to revert to that? I don't get it, but hey, everything happens for a reason, But
not like he was doing much with the Raiders anyway. So
that's true. Yeah, they have been struggling since he's been there 4 years. I don't think they haven't gone to the playoffs since he's been there. I don't think so. Yeah, it's definitely been a it hasn't been a great tenure, and it ended up in flames. That's for sure. NYCE is commenting on when Trey Lance got hurt. He says, I think it was when he got tackled and the tackler held onto his foot and tried to spin. I think that was J.J. Watt. I think that was J.J. Watt. I remember that play, but I just didn't remember Trey Lance. He didn't seem hampered throughout the rest of the game.
Right. I don't even know when I seen him jump up and hobble just a half second. I don't remember when that was. Maybe it was my imagination. I don't even know at this point.
Yeah.
I went right to bed after the game.
John says Shanahan is going to ruin Lance's career if the play calls continue like this. RG3 2.0. Well, RG3, he never should have played in that playoff game against, I think it was against Atlanta. He never should have played in that, or was it Seattle? It was either Atlanta or Seattle. Yeah,
Seattle.
he never should have played in that playoff game. He was still hurt, you could tell. And of course, he came back too soon. But I think it's a little premature to say he's going to ruin Lance's career. I mean, it is one game. Your thoughts on that, Aaron?
I think Trey is built way bigger than RG3. RG3 is a slender little guy. Trey's pretty large, 6'4", 230. He's a big man. I understand what he's saying. Like, use him properly. If you use him as a battering ram or as a fullback, like Larry Krueger was saying on Twitter, yeah, you're gonna ruin his career. Kyle, I'm really I'm dissatisfied with Kyle Shanahan right now. I'm not saying fire him. I'm just saying there's definitely needs to be some change in this year or this coming off season. I feel like some things need to be changed. I don't know, maybe take play calling away from him. I don't know. All I know is that I understand what he's saying about, ruining a guy's career. I don't think that's necessarily Kyle's trying to do that. Although I did say he was sabotaging him yesterday because I was really mad. When I get emotional, I say stupid things on Twitter. But yeah, like if you continue to use him the way that he used him yesterday, yeah, he will sabotage his career. But I don't think it's an intentional situation.
Yeah, I don't think it's intentional either. But yeah, like I said, 16 runs, that is a lot for your quarterback. That's way too many. And he was a leading rusher. Like, why is he carrying the ball, as you mentioned, more than the running backs? It doesn't make sense. And NYCE agrees with you. First text, he says, I totally agree. Having a quarterback run more than our running backs was crazy, especially when Mitchell looked real good. And it was good to have Mitchell back. We saw what we brought to the table. I wish he could have carried the ball more. Maybe Shanahan, his first game back, he missed the last, 2 or 3 games. Maybe he didn't want to give him a full workload. I could understand that. But then they could have put Sermon in. I think Sermon only had, 2, maybe 3 carries. So,
yeah. And it was a good run, too, on the outside. He bumped it outside.
And I agree with NYCE. Trey needs to get outside. He doesn't need to be running up the middle, trying to. And that was I loved. I'm going to talk about that 4th and goal play real quick. Is something that's on my mind. We didn't talk about this before the show, but on that 4th and goal play, when Trey Lance faked it to the back, rolled out to his right, I thought, I rewinded, I watched it again. I saw Juice was open. If he would have been able to throw it to Juice, he would have been open. But if he was going to run in the end zone, you're taking on 3 defenders. I mean, that's not a good idea, but maybe jump in the air. Don't try to run them over. Like, this isn't college. This is a pros. What did you think about that play?
I just think it was a bad play call. I think they could have done something different. They could have ran one of the running backs. They could have did a Debo sweep. What do they call that? Jet sweep type thing. Get Trent Williams running, plowing people over. Trent Williams loves to hurt defensive backs.
Yeah.
And why we decided to run the quarterback where he pretty much was unprotected is, or do like that. You remember the run that we did the year that Alex Smith, we beat the Saints?
Yeah.
Where like Joe Staley kicked out and he was like in front. Why not run that type of thing?
Yeah.
Get everybody moving. Get the whole offensive line moving. So he has a little bit of a protection where he can cut and pick his lane because he's agile enough. It's not like he's a statue back there like Jimmy. But yeah, I just like, why? Like, what's the reasoning? I think Kyle, like I said, he just gets in his own head and he thinks he's the smartest guy on the planet during the game, which I think he's still a better coach than Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury makes me vomit in my mouth with his just clueless deer in headlights look the whole game. He's only good because of the players he's got on his team. He ain't good because of himself. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess that remains to be seen. He's got the Cardinals. And speaking of the Cardinals, they're 5-0. They're the last undefeated team in the NFL. But going back to that play, I like that you roll Trey out so he has the opportunity to run or throw.
Yes.
I think it's good. You put the ball in the quarterback's hands, make him make a decision. But he's a rookie, and but I think if you look back at that, Juice was open on that play. He had a small window to throw it to Juice, but he's a rookie. and he still has a lot of room to grow. But
yes, he does.
Speaking of the Cardinals, so the 49ers, we lost the game by 7 points to the last undefeated team in the NFL. What grade would you give for the team?
C minus.
C minus.
C minus. I think their offensive line played horrible. I thought their coaching was piss poor for most of the game. And it's really the offensive line and the coaching is, I'm not putting it on Trey. Trey's a rookie. And Trey, I give like a C because he's young. And I'm not saying that what we got from Trey is what I expected. I knew he was going to probably throw a pick at some point because he's inaccurate. He likes to rocket shot those throws, and I got mad. I was like, get it down, But mainly the coaching and the offense. I mean, the offensive line was just horrendous, dude. They played horrible. Like the penalties. It was C minus.
And despite all those things, we were still in the game the whole time.
Right.
But mostly it was because of the defense. The defense played outstanding. Like I would take that.
Fantastic.
I would take that performance every day or every game for the rest of the year. That's for sure. They played great. We're going to talk about them a little bit later. But speaking of Trey and Jimmy, at this point, we've seen 4 games from Jimmy. I think he's been inconsistent. He's been average at best. He's looked good sometimes. He's looked terrible at times. We saw Trey. We see what he brings. At this point, who are you more confident in starting at the quarterback position, Trey or Jimmy?
I have mixed emotions on this one. There's times where I think Jimmy does things a little bit better as far as game management and just the smoothness of how the offense runs. But other than that, I mean, he's played as average as you could be this year. And he's been in the league 8 years, and I his play is plateaued. It's been plateaued for years. And the way I feel about Trey is so raw, and the only way Trey's going to be good in the long term is if he gets reps.
Right.
You're not going to learn it from being on a clipboard, dude. It's just not going to happen. This isn't like the old days. They gave away 2 first rounders and traded swapped another first rounder. I've put it like this. If they go back to Jimmy, they better start winning. And if they don't and they continue to struggle this year, then put Trey in, because you got a play for the future. Because I mean, it's tough, man. It's hard to say, because part of me, I understand why people want to stick with Jimmy. I get it. I see it. But then there's a huge part of me that says, man, if Trey just gets reps and he sees more and he plays more, he's going to learn to be better. I was talking to a Bills fan at work today. He was a big Josh Allen guy. He said Josh Allen had the same issues his first year, and the only way Josh Allen got better is by playing. Allen has taken some lumps. He played not too well in the playoffs last year, but that's the only way you learn, man. And so I'm kind of mixed on it. I feel, if Jimmy gets us going and we start playing better as a team, as a whole, we start scoring points, and keep Jimmy in. But if this thing continues to slide and we're so, then I say give Trey the shot. It's
a very, very tricky situation. But I gotta say, what's good to Blue True? Appreciate that $5 super chat. Blue True says great collab. I appreciate the kind words. Absolutely. Thank you for your continued support, Blue True. And it's very tough, because I like seeing Trey Lance out there. I like what he brings to the quarterback position. I like that the defense. I like seeing that RPO. I like seeing that zone read. Obviously, Jimmy can't run those plays, but as you mentioned, I knew Trey Lance would throw an interception, and the first drive.
So did I. Boom! Right off the bat.
You're not throwing to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, there's no way Travis Benjamin can bring that pass down. And speaking of Travis Benjamin,
why was he playing?
I was going to ask you the same thing. I know he was brought up for the practice squad to the active roster. You're telling me that Travis Benjamin, this is his first game I think he's played this year. It might be his second.
Mm-hmm.
It's first or second. He's better than Trent Sherfield, Ayuk. That's what you're telling me? Like, what's going on? I don't understand that at all. And
I guess they wanted a speed aspect or something. That's what he can do.
I thought they would.
They never threw it deep one time.
That's another thing, and that's what people were saying. Oh, Trey opens this offense up. He's going to throw the ball deep, and we didn't see any of that.
It looked like the Jimmy offense.
Yeah, and I thought Travis Benjamin would be. Oh, maybe he'll be the kick returner or punt returner or something like that. But I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand why they think Travis Benjamin, who's been on the practice squad, is better or get more snaps or equal amount of snaps than Ayuk and Sherfield. I don't get that at all. I would love to hear Shanahan's answer on that. But yeah, so I gotta say, what's good to Young Hitter? Thanks for tuning into the stream. Oh yeah, but I didn't answer that question. Am I more confident in Trey or Jimmy? I mean, we've seen more of Jimmy. Jimmy's been inaccurate. Like, I don't understand why he sometimes, like the first drive against who was it? Against Seattle.
He looked great.
Drove us down the field, looked great. I was like, okay, this is the Jimmy I'm talking about. And he got hurt. That's what they're saying. He got hurt after that first drive, and he didn't look the same. But we've seen hurt Jimmy, and hurt Jimmy is not a productive Jimmy. And as you mentioned, if Jimmy is in, we have to win. I think if you put Jimmy in, you give him like 2 games. We don't win both those games. All right, you sitting, put Trey in, because we're already 2-3. There's no way we would win this division if we lose the next 2 games. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, if we're 2-5, then the Rook plays the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Jimmy, sorry, but not sorry.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I hope you're having a wonderful night as well, Young Hitter. NYCE says on that 4th and goal line, Juice was open and Mitchell was right there in front of him. I wonder how much of Trey running was called versus Trey just taking it upon himself and running. That's a good question.
That's a good point.
Yeah, very, very good point.
Very
Luke
nice.
Luna.
Nice. What's up, Luke?
Good. Very. We know Luke Luna is a Jimmy G supporter through and through. Absolutely. Yes, he says Jimmy G is going to start and make this thing hum. No, but seriously, the run game is coming back, and if they are healthy, Jimmy will play well. Jimmy has played without Raheem Mostert and without Elijah Mitchell for most of his games. So, obviously that doesn't help him. I like Trey Sermon. I thought he played his best game against Seattle, but he is not Mitchell. He doesn't have that home run ability. And the running game without Mitchell, it just wasn't the same.
Nope.
Yeah. So, and hopefully Jermichael Hasty, I know he was on IR. I think it was 3-week IR with a high ankle sprain. We'll see how he progresses through the week. But yeah, hopefully we get some reinforcements back and we'll solidify that running game because that will help, no doubt, the entire offense.
Yeah, we get Jeff Wilson Jr. back too.
Yeah, I think he should be coming back in November, I believe. I think he'll be coming back in November. So hopefully sooner, but we'll see. Now let's talk about the one great thing from that game yesterday. This unit on the team kept us in the game. They kept it basically within 1 score or 2 scores. But DeMeco Ryans in the defense. Now, for those that don't know, this Arizona Cardinals offense, keep in mind, they are undefeated. They're led by this offense. They rank top 5, top 6, top 7 in a lot of the major offensive categories like total yards, passing yards, rushing yards, points scored. This was a prolific offense. And for the 49ers defense to hold them to only 17 points, I mean, that's incredible. Because I think that's, last year the Cardinals started off 2-2. Now they're 5-0. I think that's part of it is because their offense is doing really well. And they're arguably, I guess they are the best team in the NFC West right now. I guess
it's not even close. The Niners are basement dwellers just like Seattle.
Yeah. And
hey, at least we have company in the basement,
Yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately for them, Russell Wilson, he'll be out at least a month, maybe more. So they're going to be.
Of course, the Niners have to suck when that happens. Of course.
Yeah.
We can't be beneficiaries of that. Nope.
Right. Exactly. And so D'Amico Ryan's defense, they allowed the Cardinals, I think they were 3 of 11 on third down conversions. That's excellent. I'll take that any day from our defense. They only allowed 304 total yards. We had 2 sacks. And what do you know? The MVP of the defense, everyone hates on this guy, Dante Johnson. Dante Johnson forced a fumble. This is only the second turnover that the 49ers have had this season. The first one since week 1 with Dre Greenlaw had that interception. So shout out to you, Dante Johnson. Hat off is to you. People need to learn from Dante Johnson. I didn't think I would ever say that in my life, but he punched the ball out. We need more turnovers like that to help this offense for sure. And
I agree.
I don't know why we don't do that more often.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I'll say this about D'Amico. I was getting a little bit iffy with him, but he's definitely won me over with this performance because, D-Hop's going to get his. He's just going to. He's going to eat. Everybody knows that. So I was pleasantly surprised that, other than a couple big plays from D-Hop, Niners pretty much held this game in check. If they could have got any help from their offense in this game, they would have won.
Yeah. The
offense is the weak point of this team. D'Amico has outcoached Kyle Shanahan all year. Not even close. This defense has been very bend it, don't break. But, man, that defensive line looked really good yesterday, man. He didn't do nothing in the run game, Murray.
No, he didn't. He didn't. No. The Niners did a great job in keeping him in the pocket. Because I saw this stat before the game that Kyler Murray versus the blitz was the #1 ranked quarterback so far through the first 4 games of the season. So obviously, if you blitz, he's able to find the open receiver. But the Niners did a great job. The ends kept contained. And we were able to get after Murray and sack him. Bosa had a sack. DJ Jones had a sack. And, we did an excellent job containing Kyler Murray. So shout out to D'Amico Ryans for the excellent job he did on Sunday.
Can I steal your thunder 1 second with the comment that Luke Luna just gave?
Yeah.
He says that I don't agree us being we are above basement level with our defense playing elite. I'll put it like this. What did Bill Parcells always say? You are what your record is. You are what your record is. We're 2-3. So I mean that not because I think we suck. We are what our record is. We're a 2-3 team. What is the saying, Jay? Almost is only good enough in horseshoes and hand grenades. So I don't know if you've ever heard that saying before.
I've never heard of that. That's interesting.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Almost in sports moral victories don't mean crap.
Don't matter. Yeah, don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Moral victories don't contribute to going to the playoffs. So
I understand what Luke's saying. I always understand, and I always appreciate his optimistic view. I'm just frustrated, man. I'm just tired of it, man. We have talent on this team. We're not bereft of talent. That's the thing that bothers me,
Yeah. No, absolutely. It is frustrating. We start off the season. I would say we start off the season great, 2-0. I know it wasn't. This isn't college football. This isn't the BCS system. We don't have to blow out teams by 50 points. That doesn't matter. A win is a win, so we got off to a good start. But the last 3 games, and I want to mention this, basically the last 3 games we struggled with turnovers and penalties, and it was very frustrating to watch yesterday. Every time we got positive yards, I was like, "Oh, there's going to be another flag." I already know, and then you see the yellow on the field. It's ridiculous. Way too many penalties. I know Luke Luna mentioned. Let me pull up his comment because I know Luke mentioned that. About just blocking in general for Trey Lance because he loves to scramble. The offensive linemen don't know where he is, so they kind of have to hold. And this is Luke's comment. Trey Lance, every time he breaks protection, he turns blocks into holds if he doesn't run behind it, period, and they can't see behind their heads. I mean, that's an interesting point. I didn't really think about it like that because with Jimmy G, the offensive lineman didn't really have to worry about that. And with Trey running 16 times, hey, they don't know where he's at. But still, they still hurt.
I don't remember this with Kaepernick, though. They didn't hold every time Kaepernick was running. So I understand that to an extent. There is definitely a change of how you're blocking, just your I guess your wherewithal of like what's going on, but I'll give that like another week. If this keeps happening, like other Lamar, there's not holding every time Lamar scrambles.
True.
Like Michael Vick used to scramble. They weren't holding every other play. Like I'll give it like a week more or two. Like if he plays, and then I don't want to like that's. It's just so many. Like this team is one of the most undisciplined, if not the most undisciplined team in the NFL. From turnovers to penalties, just bonehead. Like where's your brain when you're in the game? Down in distance, like just people. Dude, this is the 5th year of the Shanahan John Lynch regime. This is unacceptable. I'm sorry. We're 5 years in. We have one winning season. This season isn't over yet, so I'm not counting us out. But one winning season since they've been here, and this is it's unacceptable. I'm sorry. This is 5 years in. There's no reason that we should be this undisciplined, this turnover prone, this just like down and everything down in distance. You name it, we suck at it. Like as far as like discipline goes, not like everything. So I'm more mad at Kyle and John for, getting a pass like they have the last couple of years. I don't always blame the players. I do blame front office. I do blame coaching, especially with a young guy like Trey. You got to handle him with kid gloves, man. At certain points, not always, but at certain points. But whatever.
Yeah. No, and it seems like there is dysfunction with this team. There's no doubt. And, the last 3 games, you could argue, if you want to be optimistic, you could argue we should be 4-1.
Yes.
Jimmy G led us down the field.
I agree with that.
Green Bay Packers. Hey, he gave us the lead, 30 seconds, 39 seconds, whatever was left. We got Aaron Rodgers,
Aaron Rodgers was Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. And you could argue the Seattle game. We could have won that game. So if we really want to be optimistic, we should have won. You could argue we could have won the last game against Arizona. So we could be 4-1, but unfortunately we're 2-3. And we definitely have to get better. I would say in regards to the offensive lineman, though, there's going to be some changes. There's no way Mike McGlinchey's coming back. He is a free agent after this year.
Let him go. My brother's nickname for him is Stretch Neck. He's like, he's like, what's with his neck? I'm like, I don't know. He just looks really weird. He blocks like he weighs as much as I'm 250. I'm 255, 260. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm weak and feeble and unathletic. It's like I'm their right tackle. Like I expect to be bull rushed every play by JJ Watt. Every play. I don't understand how a guy this many years in with a pedigree from a school that he was from. I mean, he's abysmal. Anytime he goes against good pass rushers, he gets whipped.
Yeah.
Trent, I expect 1 or 2, Chandler Jones is no slouch.
Yeah, no, he's
JJ Watt is no slouch. As injury prone as he is, he's still JJ Watt. But dude, Mike McGlinchey is like a revolving door of just like, here, hit my quarter. You ever notice how many times he gets turned where his back, he's almost like running into the quarterback to where if the quarterback doesn't see him, he could trip over him and tear his knee. Like that kind of awkward collision. He's always right there. And I'm just like, oh my God. So yeah, you're right. McGlinchey needs to go.
And
goodbye.
I thought McGlinchey, he played well when Joe Staley was here. And I thought, last year, he just had an off year. A lot of things, obviously went left last year. And this year, I thought he's been okay, but it's not going to really get any easier. We play Indianapolis next week. And I know Brunskill at the right guard position. Who knows if he'll be back? I would be surprised. I don't think he'll be our starter next year. But
yeah, we need a change there too.
Yeah. DeForest Buckner's coming back with the vengeance to Levi Stadium.
Oh, Lord.
Alex Mack, Lincoln Tomlinson. I think he's been playing well. We don't really hear too much about Lincoln, so he must be playing well, right? But that interior, Lincoln Tomlinson, Mack, and Brunskill going up against DeForest Buckner, in 2 weeks, that's going to be, a very, very interesting game. they're going to have to definitely bring their best. They're going to have to play their best game of the year to try to block him. I know Shanahan will scheme plays to kind of, move away from DeForest. We're definitely not going to run straight to him, I don't think, unless it's on a double team. But that's going to be a interesting game. Good to see DeForest Buckner back. Wish he could be in red and gold.
I wish Defoe was still here.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta say,
Armstead didn't play too bad yesterday, though. I must say that.
Yeah, we don't really hear that much about Tomlinson. Usually the pressure. I know Trent Williams kind of had a so-so game yesterday. Like he didn't have his best game. But yeah, the pressure usually comes from either Brunskill or McGlinchey. Those are kind of like the weak points on the offensive line. Jay Mount, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Let's see, J.R. Meadows. We know he is a fan of Kyle Shanahan by his comments. What's good?
Are you saying he's fire, like he's awesome?
I don't think he meant it that way.
I think he means like fire as in bye-bye.
Yeah. And
I can't say that I totally disagree with you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can. He just signed a contract extension last year in June. There's no way that York is going to foot the bill. He's not going to pay him. I think it was a 5-year extension. They're not going to pay out the rest of 3 years for him not to be there. There's no way that's going to happen. But there are definitely changes will have to be made. That's for sure.
Heads definitely have to roll if this season tanks. Like you can't just stand pat. This whole like Revenge Tour 2.0, dude. Let 2019 go. It's over. We're not that team. I remember watching this guy. He did a video, and I remember being so depressed. And he was like walking down the street, like in the wintertime, saying, "Hey, Niners fans, we're good. We're gonna be back. We're young." And I remember thinking, "Yeah, you're right. And then last year happened, and I'm like, "Okay, that was last year. It was just a bloop, a blip."
Exactly, just a blip.
And then this year has started just like worse, and I'm just like, "Oh my god, okay." Was 2019 an anomaly, and this is the norm? So. Yeah, heads deemed to roll, whether it's John Lynch, whether it's I can't say Parag Marathe because he's like the best contract guy in the world.
Yeah.
And why? Yeah, someone has to be fired if this season goes. You can't just say, "Oh, we're just going to run it back again," exactly the same way.
Run it back. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. J.R. Meadows says, "I'm done with Shanny. His energy is very low." He also says, "New coach, please." I just don't see that happening. Especially with the contract extensions that Lynch and Shanahan received last year. Something's got to change, though. I think you've mentioned this before, First Takes. Aaron, you mentioned this. They can't invest in players that have been injury-prone throughout their career.
It's got to stop. Injury-prone college players are injury-prone pros. Injury-prone free agents are injury-prone on your team. There has to be a time in this team's maturation where they decide, you know what, we're not going to pay for a guy and be cheap and pay for a guy or overpay for a guy that's had a ridiculous injury history and think, well, he's going to come to our team and he's not going to get hurt. No, he's going to get hurt. Jason Verrett, I love the guy to death. He's fantastic when he plays, but he never plays. He's played, 2 years and 7 seasons or something like that? 6 years? Yeah. 6 years. I love the guy to death. You got to be done with him. I'm trying to think of who else is super. Like Nick Bosa has injury history. Deebo Samuel has injury history. Dee Ford has injury history. George Kittle has injury history. I mean, it goes, dude. It's like an epidemic with this team. Remember when you commented on my thing? Oh my, George Kittle injured? No, and I was like, the sky is blue, water is wet. George Kittle's hurt. Like big freaking surprise. Like,
yeah. And
I'm sorry. I'm in rare form tonight. I'm hot.
Well, you mentioned, I think Verrett and Mostert are the anomalies, right? I say that because Verrett was brought on. We knew his injury history, but no one thought he would develop into the corner being the best corner on the team. No one thought that. It was a 1-year deal. Mostert, the same thing. He was just a special teams gunner. No one thought that Mostert in this scheme, well, I guess Shanahan thought that. That's why they signed him. They put him in the scheme, and he turned out to be the best running back, we've seen the last few years. Those two players Not much was expected of them, but no one thought that they would be like the best players on the team, but they unfortunately succumbed to their injuries. But obviously, you mentioned Kittle, and he's a workout warrior. You commented on that, like, "Hey, man,
all the time." You ever watch his Instagram in the off season, dude? It's constant. Him and his wife, him and some random people I don't know, him and his dad, him and his sister, all day, every day, and I'm okay with that, but it doesn't help him. He's he's really skinny. You ever notice that too? Like he has no bulk on his body whatsoever. He could use a couple pounds, maybe a 10, 15-pound increase. And he's not a speed demon anyways. Put a little mass on. All his injuries are soft tissue though, so it's really not that. It's always like feet, knee, calf, shoulder, all those soft tissues. I don't know, man. Like, I love Kittle. I have his jersey. I don't, but somebody made a good point, and I want to ask you this because I know you have topics, but I'll make it quick. They said, if Kittle is healthy, would you trade him for like high picks? And I thought about it. I was talking to somebody at work, and I was like, the only way you trade him is if you get multiple first, and then you draft a tight. Like, but it's tough, man, because I'm starting to lose my allegiance to guys who are always hurt. Like I love them as players, but I just don't get emotionally invested anymore. I'm starting to kind of like back up because it's getting to the point now where it's like, you can't. They play, 9 games a year or 7 games a year. And, and then the next offseason they're talking about, I feel better than I ever have. And this year's going to be different. And then they get hurt again. Remember, Mostert was mad at the press for saying he was injury prone. How many games did he last?
Yeah.
Like 2 plays. So stop worrying about what the press thinks and, stop getting hurt. And then nobody will say anything anymore.
I would beg to differ. I think George Kittle is fast. I think he's one of the fastest tight ends.
He's pretty quick.
Yeah. And one could argue, George Kittle being hurt could be Jimmy G's fault. He's thrown 2 balls to Kittle, opened him
hospital
up.
Ball central.
Yeah. Buda Baker took him out last year.
What is his deal with killing guys? He's starting to pass it on to Trey because Trey almost did it to freaking his interception. I'm like, what is with these guys? Like, plant your feet and throw. Like, what's with these hippity hoppity throws where they like completely miss guys? Like, but Jimmy's hospital ball central. He's good for at least 2 to 3 in the first couple weeks of the season, and usually all the Kittle.
Yeah, unfortunately,
or Debo.
Our best player, and Jimmy's good for those throws, and I don't get why and that's what's frustrating about Jimmy. One drive is great, and then other drives
he looks fantastic.
Who is this guy on other drives? Like who is this guy? Like I don't get it with Jimmy.
Yeah,
but I think there's proof that the sky is not falling by NYCE's comment. He says, if you think about it, Jimmy will be 4-0, but the defense wanted Devontae Adams fantasy players to win their leagues. And who knows what happened in Seattle if Jimmy didn't get hurt. It was 7-7 at half. Yeah, that is very true. That is very
I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore, honestly. I'm just like, I'm out of gas. I watch every game now, and I just sit there. No cheering. I'll clap a little bit. Like, when Debo finally scored, I was like, yay! Yeah. And then, but I was really kind of like, we're not going to win this game. Like, because
you didn't think you didn't think we would win this game. Yeah.
I didn't think we were going to win. I honestly didn't. I think it's tough sledding. That's a good freaking defense in Arizona. They are fantastic.
I would completely agree. Did you see that play that let's see, J.R. Meadows is referencing? He says we got robbed of a safety. Did you see that? Yeah, we did.
2 players got held. Dude, did you see the picture of Eric Armstead getting bear hugged from behind?
Yes.
That's a safety. That's a game-changing, momentum-shifting play. We get 2 points. We come back. We score, 6 in a 2-point conversion. Boom, 10 points right there. Just like that.
Absolutely.
The refs were trying to screw us yesterday. My nephew makes a good point. You never should leave yourself at the mercy of the refs. Play better. He always says that, my nephew, and I'm the same way. True. I believe that. I believe that too. Stop playing where you need the refs to bail you out. Like the Super Bowl, everybody talks about the Bosa. If we would have just scored points in the second half, we wouldn't have had to depend on that. But, you know, I digress. But that play was freaking obvious to everybody except for the refs. And then the fumble where they were like, down, down, down. And then you see it and that, you know, Dante Johnson punched it out. I'm like, are you serious with these guys? Somebody said in the comments about, do you think they're getting paid off or something? I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, they're out to get the faithful.
They hate only us. We're the only team they hate. No, they suck in general.
I think on that fumble, I don't think the umpire who said that it was down, I don't think he had a good angle, because when they showed the replay, it was clear he punched that ball out way before, you know, he hit the ground.
What was with every penalty in that game? Why was there like a 20-minute conference every penalty in the beginning? What is going on? Do you know what you see?
Yeah.
There is no penalty for blah, blah, blah. We picked up the flag. Next time, there is no penalty. Oh, my God. These refs are bad. These are some of the worst. I tell you, when you suck, when you have a bad record, you get the worst announcers. I told my brother this. He's like, I never noticed that. And you get the worst refs. The best teams get the best officials and the primetime announcers. It happens every year. And sure enough, my brother's a Dolphins fan. They're horrible this year. So we're both complaining about referees.
But their savior, Tua, he's out. You know?
What's your thought? Me and my buddy at work think if what's his name gets all his charges or all his legal woes, they go by the wayside. Do you trade for Watson to Miami? I would, in a heartbeat.
You said
you better
would.
Than any. I would if the legal stuff is all bye and it's nothing's going to happen.
Yeah,
he's better than anything you're going to get in the draft because the draft is unknown. He's a known commodity. He can play. He played with Hopkins. He played good without Hopkins. I would sign him yesterday. I told my brothers, like, I don't know about that. I'm like, why? I would.
For me, it'd only be morally. It's just like, do you really want to bring that type of guy? Like,
right, like that. Like I said, it would have to be like a bunch of gold digging going after him. But
yeah,
I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, if the charges were unfounded, then yeah, there's no doubt Deshaun Watson, he's the best quarterback that's available right now. Tua, you know, hey, this is the NFL. Sometimes that happens. Look at Josh Rosen in Arizona. He had 1 year, he was gone. You know, they don't wait now for rookie quarterbacks to develop. You got to hit the ground running. If not, they're looking for your replacement. So yeah, I wouldn't. You
ever heard the saying? I'll keep it PG. Crap or get off the pot. Like you either get on, do your business, or get out of here.
Right. And unfortunately, Tua, you know, hey, he was injured in college, and what do you know? He's injured in the pros. So it's
big surprise. Color me shocked.
Yeah. All right. It's the moment you all been waiting for. It's time to play the blame game. So who's to blame for the 49ers 2-3 start?
Kyle Shanahan. It's Kyle Shanahan's fault. I'm not blaming Jimmy. As much people think I hate him. I don't hate him. I just don't love him. It's the coaching. It's the leadership. It's everything. It's John. It's just the whole brain trust right now. There's something amiss. There's some sort of dysfunction, disconnect. There's a report I told you about. I know, I have my differences with Grant Cohn sometimes, but I've heard this from a lot of people. They didn't want Kyle Shanahan didn't want. This is just hearsay, okay? It's not. There's no proof that he didn't want Trey. He wanted Mac Jones, and that he was vetoed by a majority vote for the organization. There's things that you see a little bit in Kyle's attitude and his behavior that make you sometimes think that maybe there's something to it. But again, there's no proof. But Kyle's just, he doesn't look happy. He looks like he's burnt out, like kind of how Paul was in his last year, where he was just didn't want to be here. He's agitated with the press when they ask real questions. Say what you want about Grant, but Grant sometimes asks questions, and Kyle's like pissed off. I'm like, answer the question, So if I had to blame anybody, it would be the leadership on this team, namely Kyle Shanahan.
I respect your opinion.
You get to respectfully disagree.
I would
That's
say,
okay.
I would say Shanahan, his play calling has been questionable at times. That's for sure. But I think the last 3 games, I think we beat ourselves with the turnovers
True.
and penalties. And I guess you could attribute that to the leadership.
Aren't we a reflection of our coach, though?
Right. In the first 2 games, they kept the turnovers to a minimum. I don't think we had any offensive. Debo fumbled, but it was very minimum. And then the penalties we kept at a minimum. And I don't know what it is about Levi Stadium. We don't win games there. I don't know what it is.
We have like a kryptonite with Levi's for some reason.
It could be because of Candlestick or whatever. I don't know what it is. But NYCE had a funny comment. He says it's because, and he's talking about the referees, I think. He says it's because of Kaepernick. We started the kneeling. That's why the refs are against us.
So they're getting us back.
So they're getting us back.
I wouldn't be surprised anymore. You never know, man. Look what happened with this idiot that just got fired from the Raiders.
Yeah.
The mindset is this. It still exists.
Yeah. Shout out to Jag. What's good? He says, I love Trey, but I think Jimmy gives us a better chance to win this year. Trey is the future, no doubt. Your thoughts? We touched on this earlier, but
if he comes back and starts winning, yes, stay with them. But if he comes back and it's the same old 7 points, 0 points, interception, so play, you get that from a rookie. If he's offering the same thing as a rookie and we're not winning, let the rookie play. And that's all I'm saying.
And with Jimmy, it has been frustrating because the first half of games, I don't know what it is, but we start slow. We're not executing right off the bat.
There's like no sense of urgency.
Shaky. Yeah, and Jimmy looks shaky at the beginning of games. I don't get it. So that's been frustrating to watch. But I think the blame, there's a lot of it to go around. I would say Shanny. I would say, injuries. Jimmy G has not been accurate. You could say the offensive line. We know if Jimmy doesn't have a clean pocket to throw from, he's not going to be able to play at his best. So I think a lot of blame could go around. But hopefully we get things right in the bye week. I mean, that's all we can really hope for. I'm optimistic. Take 2 weeks away. We play at home. Hopefully we can get our first win at home, on prime time in front of the world against Indianapolis. But
we win one game, we're 3-3, we're 500. So
exactly. And that's how we got to look at it.
One game at a time.
Absolutely.
You can't win 6 games in a row. You win one game and then you go on to the next. Beat the teams you should beat. If you're better than a team, beat them. If you're good and the other team's really good, I say it's 50-50. It's a split sometimes, But they have to beat the teams that are on their schedule now. No excuses.
I completely agree with that. NYC says on that 4th and goal line, do you think that hit on Trey was helmet to helmet and should have been a penalty, especially since Clemens went out with a concussion? What do you think?
I forgot about that. I don't remember it, honestly.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about it. Dude, I was kind of in a daze watching the game because I was so agitated that sometimes I have to just mentally take myself out for a sec. But I did remember hearing something about a helmet to helmet, but I honestly don't remember seeing it, so I can't really comment on that.
Yeah. When they showed the replay, it didn't come to mind that it was helmet to helmet. So I'm assuming it wasn't. It probably wasn't, because we know helmet to helmet hits. We know that now. We can
you use the crown of your helmet, you should get penalized.
Right.
Wait a minute. Was he? No, it wasn't the 4th goal. I was thinking of something else. Never mind.
Okay.
I forget. I'm getting old. I'm almost 42. I forget things.
No worries. J.R. Meadows says 13 play drives, 93 yards. Jimmy G doesn't make it like that. I beg to differ. We've seen Jimmy, against Green Bay. I don't remember where we got the ball at, but
Jimmy, that was a great drive.
Right.
But he put us in that. He was part of the reason we were in that position. So you create the mess, and then all of a sudden you have to play the superhero to clean it up.
Right.
I don't give you props for that. So.
What? You saying he shouldn't get credit for that?
Nah.
Yeah.
I've never been this ballsy on YouTube lately. I'm sorry, pardon my French. I've never had the stones. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with this for a long time, man. I remember when we won Super Bowls, not lose them. So I know I'm curmudgeon old, but whatever we can do.
You ain't taking no stuff no more. You tell it like it is.
I'm mad and I'm not going to take it anymore. Yeah, I'm that guy. I got into it. Me and this one commenter on my YouTube channel, I forget his name. He's about my age. He's like, Aaron, we've become the crusty old men that talk about in my day. That's who we've become.
That's really good. I answered this question earlier. Your thoughts, though, are Shanahan and Lynch on the hot seat?
Shanahan, probably not. Lynch, possibly. Because Lynch, there's some misses in this draft. Whether it's whoever picks it, it's still Lynch is the GM. There could be a parting of ways if we have if we finish this season like 4-12 or 4-13, 5 and man, my math is bad. You know what I'm trying to say, guys. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, 5-12.
5-12. Somebody, you can't just say, well, we're going to bring everybody back and we're going to bring the whole team back now. I would assume that someone like John Lynch might take the blame, and someone like Adam Peters probably takes over. He gets promoted, because a lot of people say Adam Peters is responsible for a lot of those later round picks, aka Dre Greenlaw, George Kittle, guys of that nature. I don't know how accurate that is, but listen, you can't. What is the definition of insanity, Jay? You do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. Eventually, something has to change. Someone needs to get kicked in the rear end. Me and you go to a job every day. If we underperform, we don't show up. No call, no show. Guess what? We get fired.
Right.
So it should happen in the sports world as well too. If you don't perform and you have an expectation of Super Bowl or bust, and you lose every year except for one season, someone has to pay the price.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. It's life.
And you mentioned the draft. There definitely have been some misses with Lynch in the draft.
Huge misses.
He has had some success. Yeah, his first round of his draft was terrible. Obviously with Reuben Foster and what's the guy? The defensive lineman from Stanford.
Solomon Thomas.
Exactly.
We could have had Watson or Mahomes in that draft, but guess what? Kyle Shanahan didn't look at him.
Right.
Because he wanted Kirk Cousins. So
exactly. And then if you look at this draft, obviously with Trey Area, the second round pick, the guard, we could have picked Asante Samuel Jr. there.
Yes, we could have.
The guard, I don't know if he's still hurt practicing. If you see red shirt,
I don't even know his deal. Yeah. I think they're redshirting him this year.
Yeah. So when you draft someone in the second round, you're expecting them to start.
That's a plug and play player. That's a plug and play player.
Right.
You get drafted in the second round, you're expected to contribute. Debo got drafted in the second. Guess what? He contributes.
Right.
He's starting to grow on me. If he can just stay healthy, man, Debo is the stuff.
Absolutely. And then Trey Sermon, I think it's clear that Shanahan, he's not the best back in the running back room. I think that's very clear.
It's a meritocracy, man. It's whoever plays the best.
Right. And it's the 7th round pick right now. Who's the best? Who's the best running back right now in the running back room?
I thought he was the 6th.
I think who was the last draft pick?
I don't know.
I think it was Elijah Mitchell, I believe.
He might have been. Did we? I don't know if we had a 7th round pick. I don't know. I'm not sure. You might be right.
Let's say he's a day 3 pick.
Yes, he's a day 3 pick. Sermon is good as long as he doesn't try to be like Elijah Mitchell. Yeah. Elijah Mitchell has that cut ability like Mostert. Sermon is a up the gut, one cut, go. Yeah. Don't dance because you're not that bad. You're just not that kind of running back. Right. So I agree, but man, I love Elijah Mitchell. Man, is he good?
Yeah, Whew. He is good. He is good. We definitely missed him the last few games. That's for sure.
Yes, we did.
Luke Luna, I appreciate that super chat. He says, "Don't show your cards in a losing season play." JG. Okay.
But then how are you supposed to get any reps? I mean, the way I look at it is this: if he gets the reps this year, say the season goes south, it's invaluable. The reps, he needs them. You come into training camp next year, he's got all that experience behind him. The team's fully invested in him. He has no one behind him. I just feel it's tough, man. I'm at this point now where other than one season, nobody's really done it for me. So at this point, I'm not saying just throw something at the wall and see if it sticks, even though that's kind of sounds like what I'm saying. But if the season tanks, Jimmy plays bad, why keep playing Jimmy? I just don't understand. But, that's just my opinion.
And it's clear that Shanahan still feels that Jimmy G gives the team the best chance to win.
I understand that, though. I get that. I agree to an extent.
No, I understand that. Now, this may be premature. You only played 5 games, but are the 49ers a playoff team this year?
Can't answer that yet. Yeah. I said in another person's stream we were watching Stragosaurus.
Yep.
The ladies. The 49 Carats podcast. I love them, by the way. They're really good. They're fantastic. Guys, if you don't know 49 Carats, Stragosaurus on YouTube, 49 Carats podcast, they're fantastic. They're good. Get them the looks and the likes and the subs. They're really fantastic. But I said in there, no. I was just like, no. But the more I think about it, put it this way. We have enough talent on both sides of the ball if we stay healthy to make a run.
Yeah.
But we come off the bye week. It's put up or shut up, brother. Yeah. We got to do it. There's just no more talk, no more. But we could have, and, we almost won. That doesn't matter anymore. And if Jimmy's gives us the best chance, I'm all for it. But if we tank, then like I keep saying, put the kid in. But right now, I'm indecisive, Jay. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I think it's too early. I think our odds of winning the division definitely have decreased. That's for sure.
Unless there's a complete collapse by either the Rams or the Cardinals, which is possible.
Exactly. It is possible, like if one of their quarterbacks gets hurt or whatever, obviously.
What did Kevin Garnett say? Anything is possible.
But like you say, it starts from one game at a time.
That's right.
I think the only way we're going to have a successful rest of the year, we need consistent quarterback play. Mm-hmm. We have to limit our turnovers and stop beating ourselves with these penalties.
If we come out of the bye week flat, we're toast. Yeah, it's over. I hate to say it.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, after having 2 weeks off, we have to come out with, like you say, sense of urgency. Mm-hmm. Can we score on our first drive? I think we've only done that. Against Seattle? I think we did that against Detroit.
Detroit, we fumbled on our first possession. Jimmy fumbled a snap.
Yeah.
So and then after that, we beat the brakes off them.
We've only done that one game this year where we scored on our first drive. And I think out of the entire NFL, we scored the least amount of points in the first half. So that has to change. That can't continue. So
I concur.
Luke Luna says Eric Armstead has been playing elite. He does much more than sack. He's altering every play. I got to admit, Armstead is playing.
He has played well this year. He's not a stat maker.
Yeah.
Although when you get paid as much as he does, you would assume he would get some sacks here and there. But you're right. He does. How do I put this? He benefits from having good ends. He's better inside. Yeah. He's a massive human being. He gets a little. He can get a little caught up in the run game because he's gigantic. He's 6'7". But you're right. He definitely disrupts. And if you have a speed rusher coming off the end, he's more valuable. That's why a lot of people were saying Eric Armstead or Buckner should have stayed, because Buckner was doing stuff without edge rushers. And when he had him, he was just out of this world. So, but I agree. Armstead's playing well. It doesn't show up on the stat sheet. I know Grant Cohn's not a big fan of him. I'm kind of iffy on him, but he is playing really well right now.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He is playing well, and it's definitely good to see. And especially if you put him and Kinlaw inside, and then you have Bosa and Ford on the outside, I think that is a great front for sure.
Didn't G.J. Jones have a sack yesterday?
He did.
That was an awesome sack.
That was. His
big slow behind. That was great.
Hey, he ran after Kyler Murray.
That was great. The few times that I stood up and clapped watching that game, that was one of the plays.
Absolutely.
I'm a big DJ Jones fan.
I like him. He is good. He's very good. Gotta say, what's good to Bob Money. Thanks for tuning into the stream. He says, I think we're ready for the complete rebuild that's about to be coming up. I think Shanahan was given the opportunity to get great players. Instead, he gets in route from players.
In route of the players, like
he gets
like in the way.
Get in the way. Yeah, you're saying get in the way. Maybe he's talking about Ayuk. Maybe?
Yeah, well, he has this weird way of like punishing people. Like he has his, he falls in and out of love with people. Yeah. I've noticed that. We're like 1 year the guy's fantastic, and then all of a sudden the guy does one thing wrong, and now he's in the doghouse. Everyone was saying he's not in the doghouse. He's in the doghouse. Like he doesn't get a lot of throws though, man. So yeah, I don't know. They don't throw it to him, and when they do, it's always like an acrobatic catch all the time. You know.
I gotta say though, that Trey Lance throw on that third down to Ayuk, that was a thing of beauty. You know,
the one on the sideline, that was one of the best throws I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
No disrespect to Jimmy, but he couldn't make that in his.
I don't think
if he tried it 100 times. Yeah. That is, you have to have elite arm talent to make a throw like that. Yes. Like Mahomes, Kyler Murray made some throws yesterday that I was just like, what? Like falling down, almost hitting the ground. Sidearm, like that's that baseball. Those baseball players who play quarterback, man, they're good.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And those are some of the highlight plays from Trey. That's why I'm like, yeah, I like to see Trey in there.
So do I.
Those specific plays.
Trey needs to just work on the intermediate stuff in the screens.
Yeah.
Calm your butt down. Stop rocket ball and everything, as like freaking Holmgren used to say to Brett Favre. No more he's like, no more rocket balls, please. Like he just calm down, set your feet.
Yep. Absolutely. Great comment, Bob. I appreciate that. NYCE says, do you feel the refs have some hidden agenda for the Niners? In every game, there has been some call that has been a major turning point in the game. I will respond to that question by saying, I like what First Take said before. You know, you take care of your business. You don't have to worry about the refs.
That's right.
You don't defeat yourself with.
Stop putting yourself in the mercy of the referees by playing a 7-7 game or a 10-7 game. Bust somebody's behind up. Be up 24-3 in the third quarter, and then you don't have to worry about the referees.
Right. Those calls won't affect you then when you have a lead like that. So, yeah, very true. But no, the refs do not have a hidden agenda. No way.
I don't think so.
J.R. Meadows, we agree with you. D-Buck is missed. Absolutely.
Yeah, I miss him. I was a little bit of the impression that, you know, maybe he was overrated for a while when he was on the Niners, but I was wrong. I stand corrected. And I'm a man enough to admit when I'm wrong. He's good.
Yeah, I would say definitely his last like 3 years he blossomed. The first two were, you know, they're okay because he was a first round pick.
He was by himself, man. He didn't really have it, and Armstead was doing nothing.
Right.
Like zero. Like he was just a dude.
Armstead was in that contract year. He's like, it's time to ball out, you know, and he got that money.
I'm about to get paid.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I'd probably do the same thing, and then I would just kind of chillax after.
But it was the perfect situation for Armstead. He had Ford around him, Bosa, Buckner beside him, so it was, you know, perfect situation for Armstead, and he had a hell of a year. And he's playing pretty good this year, so hopefully he can keep it up.
I feel like my shirt says it best because I wear a lot of Violent Gentleman stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We were learning some hard lessons.
No, absolutely. I want to ask you a question. I've been asking some of my guests this question. So who do you have on your Mount Rushmore of 49ers players?
My number 1 is Jerry Rice.
Okay.
My number 2 is Joe Montana. My number 3 is Ronnie Lott. My number 4 is Bryant Young. And my number 5 is Steve Young.
Okay.
I know I got a lot of old day players on there, but you guys got to remember I grew up during that era, and they won championships, man.
Yeah.
The Niners had 5 rings, and then I wasn't a big Steve Young fan, but Steve Young was a damn good quarterback.
Yeah.
I didn't like the politics of how he played, the team and making Joe, exit. I thought Steve Young was a little bit of a kind of a jerk off back in the day, but Montana had 4. Lott was part of that. It was an era that I'm very fond of. They call it Camelot for a reason. It was the good old days. So yeah, that's why most of my players. Brian Young was part of it too. He's got a Super Bowl championship too.
Right.
So
Defensive Player of the Year. I think it was Defensive Rookie of the Year, I believe.
Came back from a horrible knee injury that was, or a lower leg injury when Norton ran into him with his helmet and broke his leg.
Yep.
That was, dude, I remember watching that on Monday night, dude. I was almost in tears. I was just like, dang, dude.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But I would appreciate everyone. Thanks, everyone, for tuning into the stream. I appreciate if you hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that. How much time you got? You got to bounce?
No, I don't got to bounce. I'm off tomorrow, brother.
Oh, cool. All right, so let's roll through these comments.
It's almost midnight, but that's all right on the East Coast.
we can stay on for another 15, so we can go to. Cool. Okay, cool. So
I just got a little ice cream to eat before I go to bed. That's all.
Nice. Luke says we could trade Kittle straight across for another tight end. The blocking would take a hit, but Hockenson, Waller straight across trade for a guy who's proven not picks. I just got Kittle jersey 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I got a Kittle jersey too, Luke. I got 2 of them. I really don't want to trade him. I'm just like, he's just always hurt, man. I'm of the mindset of what have you done for me lately? That's just the person I am. I'm from that school of line of what you did in the past is the past. The past doesn't affect the present. So it helps you get to where you are, but you still got to go forward. So yeah, I don't want to trade him. I'm just hot.
Yeah, there's no way I would trade Kittle. He's like the heart and soul of the team. There's no way I would trade Kittle. And like I said before, you could argue that some of his injuries have been to Jimmy G's high balls,
Yep. Rocket shots. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. NYCE says, what's going on with the kickers around the league? It's crazy the number of missed field goals around the league.
That Green Bay game yesterday, man. Who was that? Green Bay? Who else were they playing?
In Cincinnati.
That was horrendous.
Yeah, they were missing field goals left and right.
I mean, Robbie Gould is just like out of leg power, and he's just old and doesn't want to be here. But those guys are decent kickers, and they were sucking. I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Did they get the pressure? Maybe. I mean, you got to have some serious stones to kick a field goal to win a game, man. I know people say kickers aren't football players. They are when they win you football games. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. I think Mason Crosby for the Packers. I think that's who the kicker was. I mean, I know he's not. I don't think he's in the prime of his career anymore. I know he missed at least 3, right? At least 3 field goals.
I think he missed 3, maybe 4 field goals.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. He missed a lot.
But we've seen Robbie Gould miss some. I just think, being a kicker in the NFL, that's definitely you're in the top 1% of the best kickers in the world. And hey, you're not perfect. You're going to miss some. That's for sure.
Right.
I just thought of something.
Go ahead.
When we were talking about the kicking situation. Now, the Niners on 4th down conversions, they were 1 of 5. What did you think about that? Did you like that Shanahan was aggressive?
I did. I did like that he was aggressive.
The play calling.
I don't know. It's it's funny. He's aggressive when you don't want him to be, and he's not aggressive when you want him to be. So it's kind of like you can't win. I'm cool with it as long as you get plays where the quarterback is not your battering ram on the play. Like stop with the run, stop with the fullback and taking a quarterback snap. Like, what was that? Why? Like I said, run a jet sweep, get Trent Williams out in front and have him mow down some 185-pound DB and get and guys like Ayuk or Debo or Trey.
Yeah.
If you're going to get Trey in the open field, get him behind some blockers. You know what I mean? Do
Absolutely.
some like I said, the one that got us the lead for a bit in that NFC or divisional playoff game with the Saints, where Alex Smith went up the left sideline. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Get your best player, your best left tackle. Joe Staley was the guy. Trent Williams is a beast. He's just got to be better with his play calling. I feel like Kyle Shanahan sometimes is super predictable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's almost like he overthinks everything, like he's in his own head. But yeah, some of that, yeah, I'm down with the aggressiveness. Just I don't know. That was tough yesterday.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness going for it on fourth down. I think part of it was because I don't know if Shanahan really trusted the kicker who we just signed.
No, I don't think he did either.
I'm sure if he missed some kicks, they're going to be like, well, what are you doing? What are you thinking? You just signed this guy off the street. Now you want to, give him multiple opportunities to make or miss some field goals. So I like that we were aggressive, but of course, I don't like the gun plays up the middle with Trey. As we talked about before, let's get him to the outside over and let him run over some corners. I think that would be,
not
much
defensive tackles and linebackers.
Yeah, that's usually not a recipe for success for your quarterback.
I don't care if you're 6'4", 230. You're not going to run over a lineman that outweighs you by probably 40
pounds. Yeah.
Or 100. Yeah. Or 100 pounds.
Yeah.
In some cases.
Yeah. Luke says, I would trade Trey and Jimmy right now for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. In a world without legal troubles?
Yeah.
I might have to agree with that. He's proven.
Yep.
He's a dang good quarterback. That man he didn't have anything around him. You know what I mean? They kept taking, and he was still good. So that's never going to happen. But in a hypothetical, alternate universe, I probably would. Yes, I would too.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I love you. I love you, Trey area, but
there's no doubt. He's a great quarterback. And it'll be interesting to see how this plays out because eventually he's going to get traded. I don't think he'll ever play for the Texans again. So it just depends on which team. Sean, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, Sean. Hopefully you're having a good Monday night. Luke Luna says the run game is the biggest issue. Shanny is bringing running back off the couch. That's a great point.
Yeah, that's part of it. But, I mean, it's a battle of attrition. We'll put it this way. The great teams who have great quarterbacks, sometimes the run game ain't working or the defense ain't playing well, and the quarterback's able to take over and put the team on their shoulders, a.k.a. Aaron Rodgers, a.k.a. John Brady. You name great quarterbacks, they're able to elevate their game to help their team. Yeah. I hope Trey can become that one day. He has the ability. Jimmy is not that kind of quarterback. Jimmy is a player of the system. He fits well in a system with a great defense and a good running game. It's proven. That's what he is.
Right.
No disrespect to him. He's limited. He has limited arm power. He's not super. He's fragile. But yeah, the running game when you have street free agents ain't going to be very good. But I don't know. I feel like we're in 2021. You should have a passing game that goes like a forward passing game at this time in the world. Like it's 2021 and the 49ers are the only team that don't know how to throw the ball downfield. Like it does not make any sense.
I would agree. I would agree with that. I like NYC's comment. He says, gotta hold players accountable. Execution. I think if we had executed on some of our plays,
absolutely,
I think things would be different. Yeah.
Yes. Players need to be held. The offensive line played like garbage.
Yeah.
Trent Williams played not that great. McGlinchey is just, like Jay says, do not give him a contract extension.
No.
That man needs to go. And we got to do something about the right guard. Because I love, what's his name again? I always forget his name. Our right guard. What's that?
Brunskill?
Yeah, he's just not. There's a reason why we drafted Aaron Banks.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be playing right now. He's a good pass protector. He's big. He's like Larry Allen from back in the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And just players just being smart, like there's so many penalties and turnovers and stuff. Just, yeah, players need to be held accountable. But that, like I said, players are a reflection of their coach. And if their coach needs to be held accountable too, it goes in a circle,
Yeah, and I like to think that execution is a big part of play calling. Like you can call the best play you think you have at your disposal, but if the players don't execute, if there's a penalty, there's a false start, whatever, that goes off or not. But I think, I agree. I think the players need to be held accountable. they
Agreed.
need to execute to the best of their ability as well, man. That's for sure. Luke says Sermon is good. I like Sermon. I think
I
he
like
had
him
his
too.
best game against Seattle, but I think Mitchell is
Run
a
his
little bit
game.
better.
Run his game. You're not a cutback. You're a one step and go. That your game ain't what Elijah is. Elijah is a special running back, so.
Yeah. Absolutely. And John clarifies, he says Mitchell is a 6th round pick. Okay. And he was our last pick. He says we traded our 7th round. Okay.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
That. Yeah.
Thank you, John.
NYC says, what are your thoughts on Hufanga? I like him.
Love him. I love him. That's my boy right there. He's gonna be our starting strong or free safety one day.
Absolutely. And I noticed in the game that I was wondering how D'Amico Ryans was going to scheme up against Kyler Murray, but I noticed that Hufanga was in, and I believe Marcel Harris was in as well. And basically it was like 4 linebackers. You got the 4 defensive linemen, and then you just had the 2 corners and the 2 safeties. And I seemed to really keep Kyler Murray in check. He wasn't able to really escape outside. He was in the pocket, and even when he was in the pocket, he was able to get pressure.
Yeah. So, both offensive lines didn't play too well in that game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sorry,
I agree with
that.
Luke Luna says all reps aren't created equal. I do think he could get a little better with bad reps, but I saw him falling victim to his legs, not as a tool in the passing game. I think he's talking about Trey Lance.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that he kind of goes to the run before sometimes too early. It's I agree with that. I do, but it's like a catch-22. If you don't play him, then you're going to go into next year with him being the same as he was when he came out of college.
Right.
And then you're going to go through growing pains again, and you're going to waste another season. So like it's when are we going to see the dividends of all the stuff? And then by the time he's good enough, we're going to have to pay him, and then we're going to lose all the players around him. So it's like, it's tough, man. I do not envy running a franchise or being a coach.
I think, he's a rookie. He's going to get better. And I think he does need snaps, and, but Shanahan still feels that, Jimmy gives the team the best chance to win. We'll see how Jimmy's calf progresses through the next 2 weeks, because we don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Hell, it could be Nate Sudfeld.
Hell yeah.
No idea. So we shall see. Jag says Jalen Moore should be our right tackle. Shanahan has to stop using Trey as a running back. Otherwise, he won't last a year healthy. You're
Thank
right.
you.
And he got hurt after the first game where he had 16 carries. So you're absolutely right.
Thank you. Good job. Nice job, Jag.
Mo Dog, what's good? Appreciate you coming through to the stream. I would appreciate everyone leaves a thumbs up for the stream. Make sure you subscribe to 49ers First Takes in Jay and the Bay. 49ers
Please.
First Takes. Yeah, 49ers First Takes links are in the description of the video. He's almost at 2,000 subscribers. So yeah, we love as YouTubers getting those subscribers, those likes, and we appreciate.
Help me jump the shark.
He says Modog says Arizona will go 12-5.
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah,
we were talking about that Modog earlier about like they could collapse. Now the pressure's on them, and they're the top team, and there's a blueprint out now how to stop that offense. So you got a good rush and cover scheme. The Niners kind of showed you a way to like shut that offense down a little bit. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. I mean, the chances of it happening are, minimal, but yeah. I'm hoping that's what happens. I'm praying.
Yeah.
I don't know if God answers those kind of prayers though, but I'm still praying.
I think the 49ers defense played great, but also I think the Cardinals, they didn't play their best ball. They didn't play their best because they looked like a completely different team. The previous 4 weeks. But I think credit that to the 49ers defense and D'Amico Ryans, but also, Kyler didn't look the same. They weren't really able to run the ball, which is something that they do really well. And credit to the 49ers defense. Absolutely.
Word.
Luke says running game plus defense were good. Kyle's play calling, I'll look better once he has the players to run the playbook. Oh, I think he said it'll look better once he has the players to run the playbook.
I mean, why does he always have to have everybody, like all the players, to be, like, I feel like a coach should be able to scheme around a couple deficiencies. I understand, like, if you're missing like Debo and Ayuk and Kittle, that's one thing. But like, I think Ayuk, I think Trey Sermon, Elijah Mitchell, Debo, Trent Sherfield is enough. I don't understand why the Niners need to have everything perfect for them to be good, because other teams do it less. Look what Tom Brady did all those years in New England with all those bummy receivers that he had.
Yeah. We don't have Tom Brady under center though. That's for sure.
I know we don't have Tom Brady under center. I know. I'm just trying. Thanks for ruining my point.
I think Jimmy G's, he's a step below. A few steps.
Thanks for blowing a hole in my thinking.
Your theory, yeah.
Love you, bro.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But yeah, I appreciate you coming on to the stream. 49ers First Takes. We have to do this again. I'm more than willing. I'm honored to go on your YouTube channel. Just let me know. Mondays work great for me. But for those that don't know or haven't subscribed to you, what can they expect from your channel? And also let the people know where they can find you on social media.
Social media is 49ers First Takes. My name is Aaron Labigan, Labigan. That's my name. You can look for that on Twitter, AARON. Instagram, same thing, Aaron Labigan or 49ers First Takes. Of course, that's my name on YouTube as well. I definitely think of what you're seeing more with me and Jay today is kind of where I'm starting to go. I'm a little bit. I've been very like I always say to Jay, I'm always the straight man. Like I just I'm a little monotone. Like I just don't want to ruffle any feathers. But this season, this past off season, have definitely changed my perspective. I will give kudos to when people do great, but I'm also going to call people out on their crap. You know, some people like it, some people unsub. You know, that's the thing of YouTube. That's what happens. So pretty much what you see here, I post sometimes daily updates. You won't always see my face. Sometimes it'll just be my voice. I like to post videos of stuff from Twitter. You know, Brian Baldinger's takes on things, or Steve Young's soundbite from a radio, interview. I put all that stuff on. I it's not just me sometimes, so I don't always take the credit. Sometimes I have other people on, but yeah, pretty much what you saw tonight is definitely more of what you're going to see. Like I said, drop a like, drop a sub if you like it. It helps YouTube find me and Jay. The more you like and the more you comment, it's an algorithm thing. So please do that if you want. And yeah, I had fun, man. I figure we need to do this more often. Maybe I thought you said you wanted to kind of do this kind of like bi-weekly sometimes, where we kind of switch off. I like that. I'm totally down with that, because then that means I don't have to go live on my channel.
Exactly.
So we give each other a break that Monday. Well, instead of doing a Monday, because I didn't react because I had to go to bed super early. So Mondays are probably, Sunday nights from now on are probably not going to be.
It's too late.
Yeah, I was at work at 4 a.m. this morning, which means I was up at I took a shower before I went to bed. I was up at about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's impossible. I have to go to bed. So if I do a thing like this where we flip flop and stuff, it actually works out better. So if you guys can wait 24 hours, that'd be cool.
Absolutely. And it's good to, obviously you have your instant reaction, and then it's good.
I like to marinate.
Exactly. And 24 hours allows you to marinate. Absolutely. And
got me more pissed off this time instead of less.
Well, 2 and 3 going into the bye week, I definitely was hoping we would go out on a high note with the win going into the bye week. But losing 3 straight, things definitely need to change. We got to get better. Unfortunate, 2 of our starting quarterbacks are out. Who knows? Nate Sudfeld may start, but obviously we'll get updates about that as the weeks progress for sure. But it's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming through, Aaron, aka 49ers First Takes. I will see you in the next one. I'll definitely go on your channel. Just let me know. We'll set up a date. And make sure you guys subscribe to him as well on YouTube, and all his links for his social media are in the description, man. But you have a good rest of your night, man.
All right. Thanks. You too, brother. Have a good one.
All right. You too.
See you later, everybody.
All righty. So that was Aaron from 49ers First Takes. As I mentioned before, his links to his social media are all in the description. I love talking to him because we have a different perspective on the Niners. We agreed on a little bit, but we definitely disagree on some things. But it's always good to hear someone with, a differing opinion. So that's always good to. I encourage that. I have no problem with that. Let's continue with these comments. Let's see. NYC, he says, "Go DJ." That's my DJ. Go DJ. Yeah, I was saying that when DJ Jones got his sack. Absolutely. That's a fact. Yeah, that was good that DJ Jones got that sack. He's continuing to play well. Nick Bosa had a sack as well. So we really did a good job on Kyler Murray and that high-powered Arizona Cardinals offense. JC49 Fish, Niner for life. What's good? Hey, you watch it all the way from El Paso, man. I appreciate the support. JC says, "I'm sorry, but Banana Hands is losing the faithful, and maybe he will if he starts Jimmy versus the Colts." Well, we don't know if Jimmy's going to be healthy. We don't know if Trey's going to be healthy. So we shall see, man. We shall see. Blue True says Dwight Clark on, I'm assuming, your Mount Rushmore of 49er players. I respect that. Luke Luna says Bosa helped D-Buck and Eric get paid because once he got there, they all played good. Buckner is playing average with the Colts. Wow. Okay, I did not know that. I'd have to look at Buckner and his stats, but yeah, I did not know that. But it'll be good to see Buckner back. Hopefully he doesn't play too well against us at Levi Stadium. John says, "Don't trade Kittle. You can't coach physicality." Yeah, he's a heart and soul. He's a heart and soul of this team. No doubt about that. And yeah, I would not. I mean, Kittle, Warner, off limits. Bosa, off limits. There's no way. NYCE is offering his Mount Rushmore of 49er players. He says Jerry Rice, Jerry Montana, Bill Walsh, and Eddie D. I respect that. Niner Sickness. What's good? Appreciate you coming through to the stream, Niner Sickness. He says, "How is everyone doing?" After 24 hours, doing okay. Definitely did not want to go into the bye week on a 3-game losing streak, but, hey, the Cardinals were the better team yesterday. NYCE says there were 17 missed field goals. That's a lot. That's got to be a record, right? Got to be a record. Luke Luna says Joey Sly kicks look good. I say we sign him and bench Gold. Well, we still have to pay Gold. That's the thing. Sly, he kicked 2 field goals. He looked good, but if Gold is healthy, I still think he's probably the better option, at least this year, and we're still on the hook for his contract. Niner Sickness says Jay is still daylight over there. Wow. That's a good one, Niner Sickness. Blue True says, "What?" At Luke Luna, Robbie Gold is golden. Yeah, when he's making his kicks, that's for sure. NYC says, "I think a lot of teams are going for it on 4th, especially if they are in a good field position, especially if they are behind or looking to be aggressive." Yeah, I mean, if you can't convert on a 4th and 1, what are you doing? I mean, you should be able to convert on 4th and 1. I understand if your back is to the end zone and you're at your 20-yard line, then you probably shouldn't go for it on 4th and 1. But if you're past the 50, yeah, you might as well go for it on those short 4th downs, especially when you have a kicker you're not 100% sure about, Luke Luna says, Blue True, he's already missed close field goals this season within 40. I think he still is, but this is the last year he's going to be here. Might as well start Sly with his two kicks I did on and look good. Yeah, I would be surprised if Gold is brought back next year. I would be really surprised. But the thing is, it seems like kickers are a dime a dozen. You can always get a kicker. Sly looks solid so far. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Blue True says they will consider Eric. What's good? He says, "Do you think my Browns have any chance on beating the Cards next week at the Dog Pound?" Absolutely, Eric. I hope you guys do beat the Cardinals because you guys run the ball. And that's one thing that the Cardinals don't do well. They don't stop the run, and you guys have a dual threat at the running back position with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. So yeah, if you guys run the ball 30 to 35 times, keep Kyler Murray off the field, I think the Browns can definitely win that game. That's going to be a hell of a game, though. John says all great quarterbacks have at least one elite receiver. So are you saying the Niners don't have an elite receiver? I think Debo's playing elite this year, that's for sure. Let's see. Luke says, but you go into that year with a playbook designed for Lance. He gains more and more knowledge this season and has great offseason. I would agree with that. And it's clear that Shanahan still wants to ride with Jimmy, but we don't know the health of Jimmy or Trey. So I'm sure we'll get weekly updates leading up to the game in 2 weeks. Luke Luna says, no colleges wanted Lance to play him at quarterback. They wanted him to play linebacker or tight end, so he went to NDSU, and he sat for a year. What he do got better. He comes to the NFL. If he sits and plays, I see the same. There's no doubt. Looking at Trey, he is raw. He does have some good plays. He does have some bad plays. I think Shanahan sees that, and I think he wants to ride with Jimmy. He knows what Jimmy brings to the table. But it would be nice to see Lance out there. There's no doubt, because he does make some great plays. But Lance is hurt right now. Jimmy is too, so we'll see. Niner Sickness says, can we trade Jimmy G for a pack of bubblegum? I hope I'm not asking too much. You're asking way too much. NYCE says, got to give the DB some love. They held their own and held Hopkins to less than 100 yards. That's big. Yeah, that's huge. And I know Josh Norman got picked on a little bit, but, D-Hop, he's going to make a lot of corners look bad. Norman did have those 2 penalties. But, yeah, we did a good job against their wide receivers. There weren't too many big plays from the Cardinals offense. We kept them in check. Kyler wasn't really able to get comfortable. And, shout out to DeMeco Ryans, hell of a defensive coordinator. He's had some good games, had some bad games, but I think we made the right choice. I think he's good. We did a good job against the Arizona Cardinals. Luke Luna says it's because Jimmy isn't that quarterback and we're built around the run. You're right. Jimmy needs the running game, and without that running game, the offense isn't as good. It's just point blank. The offense isn't as good. We saw without Mitchell in there, the running game just wasn't the same. I respect Sermon. I like Sermon. I thought he had his best game against Seattle, but it's just not the same when Sermon is in there, just point blank. Luke gives us his opinion on the Browns and Cards game next week. That's going to be a hell of a game. He says the Browns will beat the Cards. They will run them to death, stay on the field, and they have a good defense. I agree. Agree with that, Luke. Great minds think alike. Let's see. NYCE says, great show, fellas. Great topics, and the combo flowed. I appreciate the kind words. I'll make sure I'll let 49ers First Takes, a.k.a. Aaron, know that. I appreciate the kind words. I think this is the first time I've seen you on the stream. Feel free to like the stream, subscribe, and you can follow me, on my social media platforms, Twitter, IG, YouTube. I appreciate all the support. Roberto says, great show tonight. I appreciate that. Luke says, Kyle is not losing the faithful period. I will always be faithful. That sounds like a fan talking. Hey, fan is short for fanatic. Everyone's got their own opinion. I'm still riding with Shanahan. I do not think he needs to be fired. We have a rough patch going on right now, but I still believe in Shanahan. I'm still, faithful. Of course, still faithful to the Bay. And I believe in Shanahan. I know he's only had one successful year in 5. There's obviously a lot to go with that, injuries, whatnot. But there's no doubt if we have a losing season again this year, some things could change. I don't know if it'll be head coach or general manager, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are changes. Brett, what's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Good luck to your Browns against the Cardinals. Hopefully you guys beat the Cardinals next week. Luke says, yeah, I'm just saying he sat for a year and got better in North Dakota. I think he sits this year, and next year he plays way better from sitting and learning. He's just that kind of kid. And I think Shanahan agrees with you, especially when there's a veteran quarterback, there in Jimmy G. So I think Shanahan feels the same way you do, Luke. Let's see. NYCE says, I'm on your Facebook. Glenn Nice Allen, aka NYCE 1030 LOL. Okay, cool. Sounds good, man. I guess I didn't recognize your avatar, but yeah, I think this is the first time I've seen you on YouTube. But I appreciate the support, man. I appreciate everyone coming through. I stayed on a little bit longer than expected, but hey, as NYC says, the conversation flowed. 49ers first take. He's got the hot takes. He's got the knowledge. He knows what he's talking about. He loves the 49ers. And it was a great conversation. Shout out to everyone in the chat tonight, especially Blue True, Jag, Luke Luna, and I think those were the main three with the super chat. I appreciate everyone's contributions to the stream, but shout out to everyone who super chatted as well. I appreciate the support. Let's see. I think we have a few more comments. Let's see. Luke Luna says, Justin Fields was ranked number 2 in high school, and coming out of college, it makes you wonder what the 49ers saw in Fields that made them not like him, because he played better than Jimmy now almost anyway. Yeah, I mean, that's something we'll never really know unless Shanahan and Lynch divulge those conversations. I don't know why they took Trey over Fields. I would say this. I'm happy that we have Trey. He has room to grow. And I can't wait to see him grow with the 49ers and become, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Luke Luna, I think it was Fields' attitude. He comes off kind of cocky. I can't really speak to that. I don't know him personally, so can't really speak on his attitude. But, so I don't know. But, hey, the Bears got a win yesterday against some good old Las Vegas Raiders. And, good for them. And we played the Bears, so we're going to see Justin Fields up close and personal, Luke. So that will be an interesting matchup. We'll see who our starting quarterback will be going up against Justin Fields. But, yeah, that's going to be an interesting matchup. But I appreciate everyone coming through. Shout out to everyone watching, Jay and the Bay Facebook, Jay and the Bay YouTube channel. Appreciate all the support. And let's see. So we have a bye week this week. So obviously there won't be any live streams on Sunday. I might stream on Thursday night. I guess we'll see if there's any other breaking news regarding the 49ers. But yeah, you can definitely stay up to date with Jay and the Bay on my YouTube with any 49ers breaking news. Anything regarding the 49ers, just check on my YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well. And I appreciate everyone contributing to the show tonight. Appreciate all the comments and appreciate all the support. And I will, so in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday, I will have a live stream. It will be 100K view giveaway live stream because I've reached 100,000 views. I appreciate all the support. And I will be doing some giveaways. I think that would be the day of the Sunday night game for the Colts and Niners. So obviously I'll do a pregame live stream, and included in that pregame live stream, I'll do some giveaways. And so hopefully you guys will be there. The thumbnail will be coming for that soon. And everyone have a good night, productive work week. And thanks for watching your boy, Jay in the Bay. And like the background says, stay faithful. Go Niners. See you in the next one.